Hello everyone, this is part 4 of What If Naruto and Hinata run away together, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Naruto watched as a glowing portal formed in the air. Shapes were beginning to emerge. Shapes that were slowly changing from bearish shapes to humanoid shapes. 5 strangers stood before Naruto. He watched as one, who appeared to be the leader, walked up to Saya and hugged her. He wore tanned leather pants and a vest of the same material. He wore sandals. His long red hair did not hide his golden eyes at all. Naruto-sama, this is the leader of my clan, Hinata. Hinata, this is my master, Naruto-sama. Hinata bowed to Naruto. Naruto-sama, allow the rest of my clan to introduce themselves. He raised his head and motioned for the others to introduce themselves. I am Kin, Hinata's mate. It's a pleasure to meet you, Naruto-sama. Kin wore a knee-length tanned leather dress that had L in the back and moccasins. She had long golden hair and eyes. I am aka wore pants and a muscle shirt of the same material of the others so far with only sandals. He had green eyes and red hair. Naruto thought that this one had an arrogant attitude, judging by his behavior. He had his C puffed out and was smirking. The one next to him introduced herself as Shiro. She was the only one who had different material for her clothes. She wore a short white dress with gold trim that had a yin-yang symbol on the back. Her feet were shoeless and her eyes were just like the stormy gray sky. However, they were sometimes hiding behind her long white bangs. Naruto-sama, it's good to meet you. This is my brother, Chiro. Chiro wore the same tanned pants of the others with a forest green shirt. He was also shoeless. He had dark brown eyes and cropped brown hair. He bowed in unison with his sister. Thank you for having us. I do hope our dear Kuro is happy here. Naruto looked confused but gathered that Kuro must be Saya, judging by her deep blush. Chiro looked questioningly at Saya. If by Kuro you mean Saya, I hope she is. I've only just come here myself. Welcome to the Minamoto house. I hope you'll be comfortable here. Naruto bowed to his guests. He went back to a normal position. Saya, I presume they'll be staying at the house. We should make room, along with the Anbu. Naruto-sama, allow us to take the place of the Anbu. We can guarantee your safety and that'll enable Anbu to spend their time protecting this village. Kuro, will you vouch for us? Saya blushed as her clan head addressed her as Kuro. I will. Sigh out off. Kuro opened the door and held it out. Oh, we also need to tell the Hokage you've arrived. Shall I send word? I could just send a shadow clone there. That way you could relax for a little while. Hinata shook his head. No, either I or Kin will go with whoever goes. That way it seems more personal. Hinata took Kin's hand quietly as he spoke. Okay, I'll go myself then. That way I can show you the way back. They all reached the living room now. Would you like to go now? We could wait until the morning. Naruto looked at the grandfather clock against the wall. It was 8 o'clock. Naruto knew she didn't go home until around 10 usually. Suna doesn't usually go home until around 10. Now if possible. Kin, take care of the family here. Kin nodded at her mate's command. Saya left to go get some refreshments while Shiro and Shinobu began to talk nearby in the corner. Kushina was up in her study going over some documents her deceased husband had left behind. As Naruto and Kin left, Naruto heard Kin say he had a lot of potential. It's not far. Most everyone is inside now, but I can still show you a little of the village. Kin barely made any noise as he walked down the street. Naruto-sama, are you planning on rebuilding your clan? If so, I have a proposition for you to consider. Kin was looking into the setting sun as he spoke. Maybe. First I have to take care of this Satsukiyami problem. Maybe after, if my relationship with Hinata lasts, maybe we can start rebuilding our clan. But until then, it won't happen. Naruto's voice was bitter. Yes, Satsukiyami is a thorn in everyone's side. Our home, another dimension, is failing. We need to find another home soon. Kuro must really like you. Her past has been tough. To have her open to someone is quite a feat. You must be a good person. Would you consider letting us into your clan? We would be willing to settle as a branch family. Naruto was silent as he thought. The last thing he wanted in his family was a branch family. It wouldn't be long before it would be like the Hyuga family, where the branch family was just there to protect and serve the main family. Like they weren't even worth a lot. If that happens, it won't be a branch family. If it was that way, it wouldn't be long until it was a corrupt family. It'd be as equals. They reached the Hokage Tower. We're here. The Anbu squad guarding the gate saluted and let the two past. A call was heard alerting the Hokage to Naruto and a guest's arrival. The two went up to her office unchallenged. As they approached the door, it opened before they could knock and Shizune's face popped into view. Tsunade was sitting expectantly at her desk. Tsunade-sama, this is Kanaka, leader of the Bear Clan. Kanaka bowed as Naruto introduced him. Tsunade bowed her head in return, since she couldn't bow while sitting down. My clan and I send greetings. It's an honor to be in Konoha. Thank you for the opportunity to avenge our fallen comrades as well. Tsunade offered him the chance to sit. They both sat down. Thank you for coming. You can understand our difficulty. I hope we can count on you in the future. Tsunade sighed as Shizune brought in some fresh tea. They've caused a lot of problems. Especially for Naruto here. Though something good must have come out of it. Considering Naruto found his special somebody finally. Naruto blushed lightly. I hear Hinata's quite the happy girl now. I saw her truly smile for the first time recently. It's quite a change. Kanaka, if there is anything you need, let us know. If we can help you, we can. Actually there is. Tsunade looked up. Leave Naruto-sama's safety in my clan's hands. That way your own people can focus on protecting this village in which he holds so dear. Tsunade considered his request and looked over the plans for the village's defenses. The squad at the Minamoto house could be used elsewhere. What do you think, Naruto? After all, it is your safety we considered when we placed them there. Tsunade folded her hands. Sire vouches for them. I can trust them. Then I approve your request. She pulled an empty scroll from her desk, scribbled something messily onto it, stamped it with her seal, and handed it to Naruto. They'll leave without any problems if you give this to the leader. She's the one with the cat mask. Naruto took it and stuffed it in his jacket. Now please go. I'm tired. And I'm also going home early tonight too. Kanaka bowed and followed Naruto out of the room. The next day Shinobu walked Naruto through the process that would take place at the Hyuga house. Remember, manners. He's trying to access you. He wants to know if you're truly good for his eldest daughter. Of course we think you are. But how he thinks is an entirely different manner. Naruto nervously flattened his hair. Shinobu smacked his hand down. Don't be nervous. Be yourself. That's what he wants to see. Naruto gulped. This was scarier than the time they had gone to get permission to date. Now they had something to lose. Something important. The clock struck 5. Dinner started at 5:45 at the Hyuga household. Knowing he had to make a good first impression, he didn't want to be late. He didn't want to be too early either. Well, I should get going. I need to arrive at the right time. He began to walk out of his bedroom. The mirror had been replaced. Kushina had been sorry to see it break. It had been a wedding present to her from Minato. But she said she would rather see it break and her son safe than it one piece and her son's. What is the right time? Shinobu grinned from the doorway. Don't know. Just have to play it by ear. He was also grinning nervously. Dinner was quiet at the Hyuga house. Naruto managed to not be disrespectful. He also apparently answered every one of Hyashi's questions correctly. Hyashi had randomly fired him off during the night. After dinner, he called Naruto into the sitting room. It was only them in the room. After some time of silence, Hyashi finally spoke. You've made a good first impression. I was right to allow you to court my daughter. Look outside. Naruto got up and looked outside into the garden outside the room. Hinata was pacing the garden in her formal kimono. My daughter is precious to me. Yes, she's a special, precious jewel. One that needs to be treated respectfully and with honor. The words just popped out of Naruto's mouth without thinking. He turned in horror to face Hyashi. However, Hyashi Hyuga was actually smiling, almost laughing. Did I just do something right without realizing it? Hyashi nodded. Good response. Exactly the one I was looking for. Go outside to her. She's so anxious to hear how it went from you. Here, special exit. He got up and opened what looked like a panel of the wall. Naruto smiled gratefully, then went out to her. Hiashi shut the door and watched for a moment as the two youth embraced. The radiant expression on his daughter's face was one he would never forget. Then he shut the window to give the two some privacy. Outside, Naruto and Hinata were laughing. I was so nervous tonight. I'm glad it went well though. Naruto was himself smiling widely. It would be cool if we could go out for a walk or something. The food was good here, but it doesn't replace ramen. But we can. As long as I'm with you and I'm back by 10. If you want, we can go get some ramen. It's only 8 o'clock. Naruto led Hinata out of the Hyuga household. They were holding hands. As they walked through the village, many people stared. But neither of them cared. They were together and that was all that mattered. It'll be my treat. He pulled out Froggy out and withdrew some money. He bought 4 bowls when they reached Ichiraku's. Hinata smiled quietly as she got her bowl. What are you smiling for? I'm just really happy to be with you right now. That's all. Naruto smiled as he clearly saw Hinata so happy. It made him happy as well. Naruto walked Hinata back to her house at around 9:30. He was humming quietly as he walked back to his house. Life was looking up for him. As if his life up to now was a test. A test to judge his worthiness of this. He unlocked the door and let himself in. Mom, I'm home. Kushina Uzumaki sat at the kitchen table with someone who still had a black hood up. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Come sit down. Naruto sat down. Now don't freak out when you see who this is. Lower the hood. The person lowered the hood. At the kitchen table sat Awai Masumun, with what looked like fresh tears coming down her face. Naruto was tempted to kill Awai on the spot. But something stopped him. She was different now. It was something in her eyes. They were no longer filled with anger. They had nothing in them but regret and a desire to explain herself. Naruto calmed himself down. What do you want to explain? His voice was kind, not harsh and angry as Awai had been expecting. I'm sorry, Naruto. You see, many years ago, I was a child in your mother's village. Most of the kids called her Auntie Kushina. I did this as well. Flashback. Kushina Uzumaki stretched out in rocking chair on her porch. Her stomach was huge. She was pregnant and the doctor told her she was going to have twins. They were due any day now. Tired and exhausted as she was, she knew the village kids would not let her rest. Sure enough, she heard running feet come her way. Auntie Kushina. It was Awai. Her red hair had recently been short and her eyes could barely contain the excitement she felt. I've told the others to let you rest. But I just had to do what I usually do. Kushina ushered the child up the steps. Come on up. Kushina lifted the top of her maternity top and guided the child's hand to where she thought the children were. See, they're fighting already. One of them gave a sharp kick as the hand was placed down. With the way they were moving, it felt like they were sparring in the womb. So who will be the godparents? It'd be so cool if I could be the godmother, but I know that probably won't happen. Awai was smiling anyway as she felt the babies move. I don't see why not. My family is small. I'd be honored to have you be the godmother of my children. Awai's eyes lit up with joy. Really? Can I help name them then? Please. Kushina laughed. One of them is definitely a boy. His name will be Naruto, after the main character in one of Minato Sensei's book. But I'll tell you what. If the other one is a girl, I'll let you pick the name. Shinobu. That would be an awesome name. Then if it's a girl, her name will be Shinobu. Promise. End flashback. Awai continued her story. I was supposed to be your godmother. But when the village was destroyed, I barely got out. Shinku had found me. He put a mind control jutsu on me, forced me to become cold and emotionless. What I did when we first met was not of my choice. I know that is no excuse. I also know that I forfeited the right to call you my godson. I put my life in your hands. Naruto was stunned into silence as Awai fell to her knees and fell still. If you wish me to then I will do so. Mom, is this true? How can we know if she's telling the truth? Kushina answered without thinking. The bears are familiar with this kind of thing. There was one on her. But she broke through it recently and came straight here. She's herself again. Make this choice wisely. I believe you, Awai. The person we must convince is the Hokage. If you surrender yourself and tell all you know of Satsukiyami, I'll grant you sanctuary here. But I won't order you to kill yourself. If you are truly sorry, then you must live on. Your death cannot make amends for your sins. The only way to make amends is to live and change your life. Make it known you're a new person. Kushina smiled with joy as Naruto displayed such a show of wisdom. RY sat up and smiled. I will do as you say. I pledge my life to yours. I will serve you always. Your will is mine, Naruto-sama. Naruto blushed but knew that this was the only thing that would calm her down. Sire, can you come in here? Sire rushed in when Naruto called her. Prepare a bath and a room. A friend will be staying with us for a while. And in the morning, tell Tsunade-sama to come over here in person. Tell no one else of what transpired here tonight. Sire nodded and bowed. RY followed Sire out of the room. That was wise, son. Thank you for sparing her. Kushina hugged her son tightly. It was the right thing to do. She wasn't the guilty one. Asuna walked down the street from his house. He was on the way to the weapon shop here in Konoha. The Junins had gotten Together the night before and had decided to buy Naruto a real weapon. They had figured he would need one to defend himself against Satsukiyami. He may or may not use it, since they had heard about his bloodline limit recently. But it would still be there if he needed. The Junins, however, had been at a loss as to what weapon to get him. So they had given the money to Asuma since both he and Naruto had wind-natured chakra. Asuma was seriously considering getting him some knuckle blades like his. They were really suited to people like them. It was around 10 when Naruto was woken up rather rudely in his opinion. Shinobu came in without knocking and had grabbed one of his pillows that had been thrown off the bed in the night. She had then proceeded to beat him up with it until he woke up. Naruto had replied by hitting her with one so hard she got knocked off the bed. What do you want? It's way too early. Naruto yawned as he sat up. Shinobu got to her knees on the floor. She had tears of laughter streaming down her face. It's actually 10:30 now. Do you do this every year on your birthday? Naruto did a double take as Shinobu pulled out a calendar. The date March 12th was circled. In the little box, Shizen Naru's B-Day, was scribbled messily. And today was March 12th. I've actually never known my birthday until now. I never celebrated it. Shinobu looked shocked and dragged him out of bed into the kitchen. Sire was busy making lunch and Kushina was at the counter arranging a pile of presents. A small round one was at the top. Both looked up as the two came into the kitchen. Shinobu made him sit down. He's never known when his birthday was until today. He's never celebrated it once, despite the fact that he's turning 16 today. Kushina did a double take. Naruto shivered. He was only in boxes and a t-shirt and a window was open. Sire left the stove and pulled out her present. It was wrapped. Open my present first then. Sire handed it to him and Naruto took it with trembling fingers. It was a large and beautiful handmade blanket. Naruto gasped and felt it. It was extremely soft. Here, Naruto-sama. Sire wrapped the blanket around Naruto and he immediately warmed up. Thank you, Sire. This is amazing. Kushina brought over a stack of presents to both the twins. The rest of Naruto's presents were a new shinobi kit, apparently the latest model, from Shinobu, some special soldier pills from Kushina, and a necklace from the bears. It had bear claws and brightly colored beads on it. Thank you, all of you. If I had known it was our birthday I would have gotten you something, Shinobu. His sister punched him on the arm. She had a matching necklace from the bears. You can make it up to me next year. It'd better be good, you hear? Naruto couldn't bring himself to speak with joy. So he nodded vigorously. Sire finished the food as the door knocked. Naruto excused himself to answer it. Asuma was at the door. Morning, Naruto. We Junins got together and decided you could use a real weapon. Here, open the bag. Naruto opened the bag to reveal a new set of knuckle blades. Naruto pulled them out in wonder. Wow, these are amazing. Thanks. Naruto stepped aside as Asuma looked at his blanket. Nice blanket. Do you know where I can get one? Asuma grinned. Sire made it for me. As a birthday present. Asuma grinned even wider. Kushina popped her head in to see what was holding her son up. Ah, Asuma, I see you just gave my son weapons. Would you like to join us for an early lunch? Asuma slipped off his shoes. Naruto, go get dressed and put your new toys away. You can admire them later. Kushina sounded like she was talking to a little child. Oh, we also invited Hinata. She should be here anytime. Naruto rushed upstairs before Hinata saw him in his pajamas. A little while later he came back down fully dressed. Hinata was there, and it looked like she was waiting for him. Naruto, I wasn't sure what to get you on such short notice. So this will have to do for now. Hinata walked over and kissed him hard on the lips. By this time the bears had entered and saw the 2K in the doorway. RY was staying out of sight until the Hokage showed up. Asuma was shocked. He had never seen Hinata so bold. He had heard about the changes, but it was two totally different things seeing it and hearing about it. Wow, was all he could get out. Hinata and Naruto turned several shades of red at the same time. Hinata had apparently just noticed that Asuma was there, but Shinobu was in the corner cheering for them. Naruto had gotten into the K as well. At least Hinata hadn't been wearing lipstick. Later that night Tsunade came by the house. Shizune was with her. They were led to a sitting room that had been prepared for just this reason. So what is this about? Saya said it was important. The room was occupied by several people. Kanaka and Kin sat in one corner. Tsunade and Shizune sat at one side of the table. On the opposite side was the Uzumaki family. Near them Saya sat still. And next to Saya was a woman neither Shizune nor Tsunade recognized. Tsunade-sama, this is RY Masumun, formerly of Satsukiyami. She surrendered herself to us and is willing to tell all she knows of Satsukiyami. Both to confirm the information Horyu gave and to give more. She was more deeply involved in certain areas than Horyu was. But in exchange, she'd like sanctuary. Shinku was controlling her and she broke through it recently. Tsunade looked over RY. She had her eyes down. Her usual clothes were gone and instead she wore some old clothes of Kushina's. No weapons could be seen either. Kushina began to talk again. She fears Shinku's retribution. Tsunade was silent. I know this must be genuine since it's coming from you guys. I'll see what I can do. But for now, here is what we will do. RY, don't leave this house. While you're here, you're safe. Tomorrow I will send Jiraiya and Kakashi over here to question you. Cooperate with them. In the meantime, Shinobu's report has not been distributed yet to the council. Soon I'll come up with another idini for you. The story I will use will be simple. You are a former shinobi who came to this household to work since Naruto was willing to accept you. Pretty soon you'll be trying to become a Konoha shinobi. You'll have to change your looks as well though. I trust Kushina will be able to handle that. Also, Horyu did reveal something during her interrogation. Shinku is planning on sneaking into the village to get Naruto back. Horyu will be hidden. If he finds out you're here RY, he'll want you back too. A plan is being made as we speak. Satsukiyami won't get any of you. Tuck in your elbows as you throw your punch. Naruto did as RY said and moved in for the attack. Earlier he had woken up after Saya had drugged his tea so they could take him to a safe place to hide. RY had said the raid to get him back would be tonight. So Horyu, Naruto, and RY had seemingly vanished. RY had gone with Naruto to his safe place. Shinobu and Kushina had both transformed into him and were somewhere in the village. There would be two Narutos running around in the village. It was thought that a lot of the forces were going to go there. The villages were evacuated and hidden. Anbu members had taken the place to fool the enemy into thinking they were clueless. Since they had plenty of free time, RY was teaching Naruto how to fight more efficiently, having noticed his many flaws in his fighting style. She was also telling him about Jigoku's fighting style, since it was likely that he would outsmart everyone and still find them. Remember, he's not only an expert with a bow but a good martial artist. We'll take him together but still you'll need to hold your own. Watch your legs. RY tripped Naruto and he fell flat on his face. Much improvement though. Already you stand a higher chance of surviving. Just remember this training. Naruto got back on his feet grinning. Oh, I will. Even though this is not my way of the ninja, it's at least beneficial. They took a break, sitting on the floor in the corner of the room. I'm still keeping my gear on me though. True enough, his shinobi kit was strapped onto his right leg and his knuckle blades were in their sheaths, one on each leg. Asuma had given him a quick lesson on proper use of them after they had eaten lunch on his birthday. His new soldier pills were in his kit as well. Kushina had explained each one's use, with the dire warning of using them only when he absolutely needed to. Yes, it is. Think, soon this problem will be dealt with. Satsukiyami hopefully won't bother us anymore. RY smiled and Naruto chuckled. You'll be free. But I won't. Satsukiyami isn't the only one after me because of the QB. Another organization, Akatsuki, is also after me. For the same reason. Suddenly Jigoku's voice rang out. Come Kately, would you? This is the most trouble we have had with the Jinchuriki. Considering Akatsuki already has 7 out of the 9-tailed beasts, we need to get a move on. Right, RY. Or is it true you've woken up, as Shinku put it? Are you really a traitor? Jigoku popped out of the nearby vent. Help me capture this brat and he's willing to forgive. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.